One of the major ways the capability of AI has increased is its ability to hyper personalize content and send a message. And do you think such things contribute to behavior manipulation?
As such, we know we live in a time when personalization of all these products and services and experiences and content are a great boon, right? Because it saves us time. They're more useful when it's personalized to my interests and my preferences. And it's also great value for the money or the time that you're spending consuming that particular element. So while that is very clear, it is important to take cognizance of the fact that what happens when the businesses or platforms that are meant to do this are incentivized to prioritize profits or reward investors or shareholders at all costs. Then the metrics of growth suddenly start compromising the other stakeholders' interests to amp up the bottom lines. When online platforms don't face intense scrutiny or regulatory oversight on these aspects, they get away with malpractices that are still not defined as malpractices in India, or sometimes are written off as a trade-off of economic boost. As this is explained in a study of regulatory entrepreneurship as well in much detail. Now, digital platforms today are at the center of public sense making and consumer decision making for half of India that is online, right? And they tap into human behavior and employ invisible dark patterns to maximize consumption of whether it's products, experiences, or content at the cost of individual well-being and rights or societal harmony and everything that is fundamental in a democracy. Social media per se has enabled election engineering, consensus hacking, astroturfing, all these because they're profitable. Now, they sure take some stances to prevent some overt fallouts as presented in their transparency reports, but these are barely country or context specific, and they have very little resource allocation. And therefore, they nowhere match the proliferation of misinformation and harmful content that is enabled by the original algorithms as such. Now, there are several long-term consequences, but I will point to one that we see evolving among children today who have been so hooked to the constant reward system of extractive digital designs since they are born that their attention spans, focus, mental health, cognitive and physiological development are all being compromised. And in the long run, the overall ability of these children when they grow up to be able to indulge in rigor, critical thinking, and complex problem solving, even as the complexities of the issues we face are intensifying, will likely end up diminishing if we don't undertake early interventions.